Hello and welcome back to my channel where we chat all things personal development, holistic health, plant-based nutrition and just becoming the best version of you. So today's topic is, what if your excuses just didn't get to be excuses anymore? There's quite a few instances where this has been happening in my own life because I've been going through a period of balancing the masculine and feminine energy, and it's kind of like a pendulum swing. So if you've had a lifetime of being too far one way, you can often reject the same side so hard that you swing so far in the opposite direction before finding balance back in the middle again. So I've always been a workaholic, have always had like extreme burnout, been working myself into the ground. And then last year I was just so far in my feminine energy. I didn't want any structure, I didn't want any rules, no routine, no one to tell me what to do. And if you fall too far into that side, then you don't actually get anywhere either. So you need to be able to have the masculine structure so that you can relax into the feminine. So one thing I've been doing is getting a little bit stricter on myself and having more self-discipline. So bodybuilding has been a lifesaver in that sense because you need to follow the plan and you've got all these daily things that you need to tick off. And I'll give you some examples of ways that I've been getting in my own way so you can compare it to your own life and find ways that you are actually holding yourself back from your own goals. So first of all was getting back into podcasting because I really did not have any mental capacity during prep for even any creative ideas. I didn't even have like mental energy to be able to book the accommodation. Like I had to get my friend to help me because it was like so overwhelming because I really gave it my all. But I was like, yeah, I want to get back into my podcast and I want to get back into making regular long form content because it's really rewarding being able to connect with you guys in this way, but also like the whole video creation process, like thinking of an idea and then doing all the filming, and then sometimes things will go wrong so you'll have to learn how to fix it for the next one, like with the audio or the background and things like that. And it can be actually really fun and rewarding to see the finished product. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get back into podcasting. But then I thought, oh, but I've changed so much since I used to do it last year, and I should probably do a rebrand and think of a whole different name because Unleashed Podcast, it might not be like unique enough or embody this whole new chapter that I'm in. So what should I call it? And then, I'll need to update the cover art because I don't even look like that anymore. So I'll need to book this photo shoot and then I'll need to do all that and like rebrand the whole thing before I can even start. Or I could just start. I could just make the first video back and post it, and today's the second week back. And then if I think of a name later on, then I can rebrand and sort out the photos and things like that. Yeah, or you can just start. The second one was cracking me up the other day, is actually pretty similar. So I've had the idea to create a plant-based protein guide, like a PDF digital product ebook, because I do bodybuilding, I'm a plant-based nutritionist, and there's a lot of misinformation or lack of knowledge around actually building your physique on a vegan or predominantly plant-based diet. So I want to create this. And I was like, yeah, I finished the show, so now I can put it together. But I don't have any updated photos of me holding food because when I launched my recipe app, that was last year at the old house, and I don't look like that anymore, and I don't have blue hair, and I'm way more ripped now, so I can't really use that, and I don't like have any new photos. So why don't I book this chick that I follow online that I've always wanted to shoot with, and she does lots of photography and recipes and things like that as well, and she's got a really nice house in the Gold Coast, so I could save up for that shoot and then drive all the way down there. But also my car blew up, so I'm also saving a car, so I better save for a car first before I even invest in that shoot. So it's going to be a few months away before I can make my ebook. Or you could just make it. with the pictures that you have from over the years. Like a couple of fitness ones, it doesn't need to be holding food, a couple from my bodybuilding show, a couple of the meals that I've made this year. Like I don't need to do this whole shoot just to be able to put the product out there, but we create all these different barriers in our mind. When I was supposed to practice posing for my bodybuilding show, that did have a trauma related mental barrier from the previous year, but I just kept putting it off and off, and I was like, no, I can't look at myself in the mirror. Like, not that it was anything got to do with my physique, but believing that I am that woman. So I've done all the personal growth and I love myself, and I've completely transformed my self-concept, but then posing in the mirror and seeing myself as that woman, like accepting it was like the final step. And I had big, like blocks around that, and it was really scary. So I'm like, oh, I can't practice posing yet because I need to make a playlist, because I only have bass music like dubstep and hard techno, so I can't really like pose to those songs. So I'll just wait until I make the playlist. And then I started like saving songs to my SoundCloud and finding more like chill, feminine, flowy songs, but they were just on other playlists. And I'm like, oh well, I can't practice yet because I need to choose which song will be the start of the playlist, because they use that cover art for the photo of the whole entire playlist. So I need to like pick out what song is my favorite so that that cover art can match like what the posing what the posing is meant to be. I don't know if anyone else overthinks that much or if it's just me, but surely there's others out there. And yeah, I just needed to set aside time in my schedule and put it in and just start. Like, you can just pose to no music if you need, but yeah, we create all of these things as to like why we can't do it. When it comes to fitness, how often are you actually getting out of your comfort zone? So for me, this is one area I did have crazy improvement, but last year I was DJing at home, just practicing, and I looked in the mirror and realized that my glutes didn't even match the rest of my body, because I've got big calves and pretty good quads and good upper body, but my glutes were like a soft little bobble. Like, they were cute, but not like sculpted and in proportion with everything else. And it's because I'd never activated them before, so my back and my quads would take all the weight. And I've learned so much about even tempo and everything. I lift a third of the weight that I used to lift now, and have grown my muscles so much more just from changing the way I worked out. But I had to start fresh, so I paid someone to do it. So had the realization, found a coach, and then they did all the programming and everything for me. And even just things with going to the gym, it can be really scary to try a new piece of equipment. Like, I would see the pendulum squat and I'd never used that machine before, so I'd like go over to it and then like quickly like try to look up how-to videos, and then it's really awkward when you're trying to figure out how to do it and you like worry that people are looking at you and stuff. So I'd be like, oh, I won't do it this time, but then the next time I would go in, I would just do the hard thing and hop on and just give it a go. So it's like getting out of your comfort zone, and if there's something in your fitness routine, like you want to grow a certain area, you need to learn how to do a certain exercise properly, get some outside help and just start taking action. Even in my own business, I find that I can go off on all these tangents and get distracted and have all these ideas without fully implementing something, because I might overthink it or be like, oh, I don't know what platform to use or something. So I have all these ideas with bullet points of projects that I want to make but haven't executed them. So I'm going to get someone to help me to map out my whole 2025, so things are going to look really incredible next year and even for the end of this year. Where are you holding yourself back? If you think like, oh, I don't know what to do about this or which path to take, blah, blah, blah. You just get stuck in transit and don't actually finish it. So make sure you finish it. So what I want you to do is think about where you're holding yourself back. So even if it comes to your nutrition, if it comes to lunchtime and you're like looking in the fridge like, oh, I don't know what to eat, or yeah, I thought that I would start eating a bit healthier and more high protein, but don't really know what to make, and then you don't actually make any change. So look at the different areas of your life where you want to make major change but you have all these excuses. So write down like the top 1 to 3 excuses, and then what happens if they just didn't get to be excuses anymore? Like, oh, I don't know what to make. Well, why don't you just look up, well, if you don't know what to make, go on my plant powered recipe app, because I've got high protein recipes that are like macro friendly, super easy on your digestion and bloating and things like that, and good for muscle building and weight loss. So that's one example. But if you don't know what to make, look on Pinterest or something and like make a list for the week of like different dinners you want to try. Or if you want to get kick-started on your health journey and you're like, oh yeah, I'll start like after this social event that I've got coming up, I'll start it after that. Oh, but then I've got this other thing, so I'll start it after that. Oh, and then it's like, yeah, Christmas and New Year, so then I'll start it after that. And you just like never start because you keep putting it off. So you could just start now and then like learn to integrate it together, and then just have a balance, and then just get started now, so that by the time 2025 rolls around, you're already on a roll and already have the habits in place and have already changed your life before the year even starts. So if you want to join a group of like-minded people who all want to step into their next level self, then join my new 4-week acceleration program, From Fantasy Life to Real Life. So this is designed to help you transform your self-concept, raise your glass ceiling, and harness your personal power. So you'll get weekly videos and be part of a community and different things to work through that will completely shift your reality into the highest version of you, like the best thing that you could possibly imagine. So that will be starting at this end of November, so head to the link below. And if you like videos like these, don't forget to subscribe, and you can connect with me on Instagram and TikTok at Cassie Amber Wellness for more daily content and regular updates with quick little tips. Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for next week.